Queenzflip, man, I'm here. And I have a special guest with me. You know, we on our way to, we driving around. And we got a special guest. It's somebody that I'm excited to talk to. My man, George Christie Jr. George,
Hey, what's up?
how you doing, man? You all
I'm
right?
good, man. I'm back here. I'm relaxing.
Do you need to make eye contact with me? You guys sometimes need to make eye contact. Are you fine back there?
I'm fine, man. I'm like talking to a ghost.
I mean, so for those people who are not familiar with who you are, I mean, we see you all over the internet. Tell us about the Hells Angel and the position that you had in the Hells Angel.
Well, I initially started running with a little club that were endorsed by the Hells Angels called the Question Marks. And then I became close to another group of individuals, again, friends of the Hells Angels that were called the Satan Slaves. And there was an old man down in Los Angeles. This is back in the early 70s, mid 70s. His name was Old Man John. And he was the leader of the Los Angeles Hells Angels. And he basically took me under his wing. And I became a Hells Angel in the mid 70s. And didn't take me long. I rose to vice president, and probably within 6 to 8 months, the old man stepped aside and turned over everything to me. Of course, he was still there. I could defer to him because I was still in my 20s at the time.
Ooh.
So it was a lot of responsibility for me.
So here's the thing that confuses me about the Hells Angels. And
Okay.
I know that you talked about it before. You guys didn't have one. It wasn't one leader.
No.
So then, what is the history of it? Like, who started it, and how was it able to branch off to so many branches? Like, who does the name Hell Angels belong to? Who came up with the name? Like, how did it start?
Yeah, the veterans that came back from the Pacific Theater and the European theaters came home after the war, probably used to all that exciting living, not knowing how to readjust, probably suffering from post-traumatic stress, undiagnosed. People didn't even know what it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
And they started forming these little motorcycle clubs in Southern California.
Mm-hmm.
The Pissed Off Bastards, the Booze Fighters, the 13 Rebels, the Galloping Goose, and the Pissed Off Bastards broke off. They split, and they became the Hells Angels.
Okay.
And that was in the late. See, there's a controversy.
Okay.
Some people say it started in 48. There's a gentleman named Dick White who showed up on the scene in the late 70s who said it all started in 51, and he was on the ground floor of that. But, we kept the original 1948 date. The anniversary is on St. Patrick's Day. That name was picked out of thin air because nobody knows when it officially started. But we figured the Irish like to drink, and so do we. So,
is it documents? Because sometimes in the gangs out here, they got documentation.
Sure.
Right. So, do you guys got documentation that was passed down about who is who, how it started, or it's just folklore?
It was really a loose band of individuals riding around on motorcycles. Usually the alpha male wound up being the leader. And how we structured our club was we never made one specific leader. What would happen is from time to time, you would have somebody step up and become a de facto leader. And that's what Sonny Barger did. Sonny Barger took the power and the voice of the Hells Angels and took it up to the Bay Area in Oakland in 1957. He became a Hells Angel, started that charter, and I would say within 2 years he had the complete power up in the Bay Area. The original charter, the mother charter in San Bernardino, was basically playing, and they don't like to hear this, but it's the truth. I mean, they were playing second fiddle to Sonny. Sonny became the face and the voice of the Hells Angels. As a de facto leader, he was not officially voted in as an international leader. And that's one of the things that have helped us in the years, anytime we've been under investigation, I'll give you a couple of examples. The Banditos had an international leader. Their international leader is now doing life for racketeering.
Yeah, Rico.
You want me to? That guy tooting at me. He doesn't like my story.
Who? The guy?
No, I was joking, man. The guy in the car.
Yeah. No, Rico charge. Yeah, I love it. No, I'm sorry.
Taco Bowman, international leader of the Outlaws, he recently died in prison. He was doing life for racketeering, and they've never been able to put that on us. They've tried us twice for it up in the Bay Area, and they had absolutely no success. And the interesting thing is, the individual that came after us was a young United States prosecutor named Robert Mueller, the same guy that went after Trump.
Yep.
Yeah. So they decided in the late 70s, early 80s that the RICO law wasn't going to work on us. And the lawyer said, stick with the structure of the club because each charter is autonomous, and they've never been able to prove that that's not the truth. Although, certain people wield more power than others.
Explain what you said de facto?
Yeah,
Explain what a de facto leader is.
Well, here's an example. Sonny went to prison, and I became the West Coast chairman. And although that job was more of an honorary type position, I was hosting the meetings. I was setting the agenda of the meetings, and people started deferring to me as a leader, which in turn brought more heat on me. I've wound up getting investigated all the time, and I busted several times. I'm just checking that guy out there with no shirt on.
I see it. Look, he looks crazy.
Are we in New York, man?
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, he's running.
Oh yeah.
Maybe he's a de facto leader. The cops are after his ass.
Yeah.
But so in 1986, I'd been in the club almost 10 years. I had a lot of power, and the cops started investigating me, and I got indicted for a murder hoax, a murder that never happened. And I mean, those are the lengths that the federal government would go. I mean, you have the same situation here in New York. Here in New York, you've got 5 alleged mafia families, and you've got these career agenda motivated prosecutors and law enforcement
that would do
officials.
anything to put a case on someone, right?
There you go, man.
So, okay, like what was the toughest faction, right, of the Hells Angels?
Toughest crews?
The toughest crew, yeah. Like which city was it? Was it you
San
guys?
Diego.
San Diego.
Real tough guys in San Diego.
Real tough. Okay.
Oakland. Of course, Los Angeles, where I was, and later Ventura. But the two.
If you had to give it, because then I just look, because if you had to rank them, right, as far as all of the Hells Angels chapters that you are familiar with, who would you say is the top 3 tough ones? Like they are
okay,
tough.
I'm gonna say San Diego, who we referred to as Dago.
Dago, okay.
And you're gonna love this one, Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, that's what the guy told, right? Butch
Crouch.
Yeah, Butch Crouch. Yeah.
We changed his name to Clarence.
Well,
after he ran it on us. But Butch. So aside from that, Oakland, New York, and Los Angeles. That's kind of the top 5 guys.
Got it.
Yeah.
Did it? But so like a guy like him, right? Because I heard a story. His daughter talked about, him telling and him going into witness protection programs.
And she went in there with him.
She went in there as a child.
Yeah,
she went in there with him, and then he ended up, coming home and then killing his family.
Do you know what happened? Ultimately,
well, I know that he killed his family and killed himself.
Yeah, and I just get out of prison in 2014, 2015. I come home from Texas. I'm in prison in Texas for a year. I come home and I'm reading an article, and they haven't identified him as a former Hell's Angel yet. There's a story on the news, that Clarence, or whatever his name is, Crouch, kills his family, but they have his witness protection name is highlighting. So I read the whole article and I'm going, man, that Crouch, that sounds really familiar to me. So I go out for my morning walk, and about halfway through the walk, I realized that it was Butch. And Butch had killed his stepson, his wife, and burned the house down, and then went out in the car and shot himself.
So,
I can't think of her name. What's her name? Do you remember?
Who is his wife?
His daughter.
No, I don't remember her name.
She's got I'm trying to think of the name of the podcast. It's good.
Real quick about that, right? Were you guys familiar with who he was back in the days, or you learned about him when he cooperated? Like,
no, I mean, I knew who he was.
Oh, you knew him?
He cut my little buddy Chico Jones and Butch were partying up at Bass Lake in 1965, and things used to get kind of crazy in the old days. And Butch told Chico, he goes, "What would you do if I cut that pinky finger off?" And Chico said, "I don't use it anyways." And he put it out on the picnic table, and Butch cut it off.
Really?
Yeah, a true story, man.
So why do you think that he suffered from PTSD, or you think do you think that
he had a crisis of conscience?
He was ashamed of what he did.
He claims to have a crisis of conscience, but I also think that there were some pending indictments coming. And I've found over the years that that's what motivates people to try to extract themselves from legal problems. You've heard the street term, get down first.
Yeah, I heard that.
But that's what they want to do. They want to get their story out there, and they want to ensure that they walk away from the situation. I mean, here's a guy that admitted, I don't remember how many murders he admitted to, but several murders, and I'm not sure he did any jail time. He went to the witness protection program, and perhaps that's punishment enough.
Well, they said he did 8 years.
8 years. I'm not sure I believe that, but
really,
yeah, I mean, look at Gravano, man. He claimed he killed 19 people. Now he got 5 years. I don't know. It's hard to say. Everybody has their own story and their own agenda, and they're trying to move their agenda forward, whatever it may be. I mean, Butch was definitely trying to justify what transpired. He was with one of my guys, David Ortega, my ace deuce, kind of my right-hand man in Ventura, after we moved from Los Angeles to Ventura. And David and him were coming back from North Carolina riding their bikes, and he was one of the last guys to see Butch. Butch said, "Hey, I'll talk to you later." And next thing we know, Butch is in the witness protection program, and he's, testifying. Have you seen Butch's testimony at the Senate hearing?
No, I didn't see that. No.
Yeah, it's on the internet, and during that hearing, they have a shield around him, so you can't see him or recognize him. That's where he revealed that the Rolling Stones still owed us $10,000 from Altamont, and they didn't want to pay us, and he's the one that told the government that we had gone out to his yacht in a dinghy to plant explosives on it to blow it up.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's all documented.
Do you think that the toughest, a lot of the guys that were tough, quote unquote, allegedly, do you think that they are easy to flip? Would you say that? Become rats? The ones that did a lot of killing and hurting? Because there are some stand-up guys who've done crimes and stood on their shield. Look, I did the crime, I do the time.
Exactly.
And they figure out.
Well,
let's talk about the other side of.
I think the dynamics changed when, here's a perfect example. Back in the old days, if you were a crank cooker, you could cook crank, get busted. Now, you've probably made $2 or $3 million. Now, this is $2 or $3 million in the late 70s, early 80s, when $2 or $3 million was a lot of dough. I mean, it's still a lot of dough, but $2 million in 1979 is a whole lot different than $2 million today.
Understood.
So these guys we get busted. They do 18 months, have their money hidden, go do their time, stand tall, and come back. But when guys start getting busted for the same crime, and they're given, I've got two of my good friends, Kenny Owens and Chico from Oakland. Each one of them, one got 40 years and the other got 41 years.
Really?
For the same crime. 6 or 7 years earlier, you get 18 months for. That's in the mid-'80s when they changed all the laws here in the United States. They changed the bail laws. They started this no bail. They started confiscating property. The dynamics. This was the war on drugs that
Bush.
Reagan. I think it started with Reagan.
Yes.
Bush was the vice president at the time, and the whole dynamics of everything changed. I got busted in 1986. I had no bail.
Wow.
No bail for a murder hoax. Wasn't even a real murder.
I wanna take a step back a little bit about you, right? Tell me about your childhood, right? Where is your family from? Where were you raised? Where were you born? I want to know. Tell me about your child. Tell me about your parents.
Well, all my grandparents came in from Greece. They were all immigrants, the whole family. I was second generation. I was born here in the United States. I'm a United States citizen. I was raised in a small Greek family. No brothers or sisters, which is kind of unusual for Greeks. Usually have 3 or 4 brothers or sisters. My mom and dad were very traditional. They deferred to my grandparents. My grandfather was a shoemaker, a very traditional guy. He came over from Greece in his early 20s and married my grandmother, who got on the boat in Greece. She was 12 years old. She came to the United States. She arrived here when she's 13. She was betrothed to my grandfather. They hardly knew each other. They got married, and man, they lived for 70 years together. In a little house. They came in on the East Coast and made their way to Ventura. So I grew up in a real traditional Greek family. We kind of took care of our own problems within the Greek community. They had an organization called the HEPA that the men belonged to. And if you had an issue or a beef, you brought it to that little congregation of Greeks, and they kind of resolved it themselves. The women had daughters of Penelope. Same kind of deal. The women had a beef. They handle it within the cultural structure of the Greek women. And, we were considered outsiders. It's, like the Italians were considered outsiders, Irish,
Was it a community of Greek people?
Yes, there was a lot of Greeks in the Ventura area.
Okay.
We kind of controlled the restaurant business, if you will.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you lived with mom and dad?
Yes.
Okay.
Until I went to the Marine Corps.
Okay, and then tell me about the childhood growing up. Like, so was dad in the restaurant business mom?
My dad had 3 jobs. He was a truck driver, a bartender, or a chef. And I think he walked off more jobs than he held, man. He wouldn't take any guff from anybody. And, he'd go to work and come home early in the afternoon. It would not surprise me if he goes, I quit. He just was a very independent guy.
Was he a tough guy? Was he a guy that smiled a lot? Was he a guy that...
He was a tough guy that smiled a lot.
He was a tough guy that smiled a lot.
He was a tough guy that smiled a lot.
Okay.
I never saw him do anything physical to anybody. He never hit me or anything, but Understood. I never saw him back down from anybody.
From anyone.
And I heard a lot of stories from his mom and his dad he grew up. He also rode a motorcycle. So I think that I certainly had a desire. I wanted to emulate my father, so I think that had some influence on me. But the biggest influence was probably in the mid-'50s when I saw my first outlaw biker in San Fernando Valley. And that image stuck with me, and I wanted to emulate that guy.
Did your parents try to... Okay, so did they? Because you said they lived together for 70 years, right?
My grandparents, my
Your
parents
grandparents,
too. Yeah.
your grandparents. Did your parents try to? Were you a part of the Hell's Angel while they were alive, right?
Yes.
I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
But how did they feel about that? How did your dad feel about that?
They were adverse to it initially, but ultimately, I did what I wanted. I was very independent. I came up, like I said, a traditional family. I used to go to school, public school, and then when I got done with public school, I would go to Greek school in the afternoon.
What was Greek school?
Well, you teach you how to read and write Greek, and be a good Greek Orthodox.
Got you. Okay.
So,
you did that because of tradition, right?
Yeah, tradition.
Got it.
All the kids went to. If you were a Greek man, you went to Greek school after you got out of public school.
Got it.
If you were a good Greek.
Got it. So then you do that. You're in school. You're in high school. What was your high school like? What was your high school years like?
Got in trouble a lot.
Okay, so you was mischievous.
I was a clown.
Okay.
I like to clown around, play with, people. Kind of maybe a little too smart for my own good. I had no interest in school. I was dyslexic, but they didn't know. Back in those days, they didn't have a diagnosis for that. I used to look at a page and the numbers are bouncing around, the letters are turning backwards, and that's how I would perceive the stuff. But I took a standard IQ test, and I got terrible grades on my report cards, and yet I scored very high on my test. So I got called on the carpet. They thought I somehow had got a hold of the answer sheet, and I almost got suspended for that. So I had to convince the vice principal I did not have the answer sheet.
So how did you get a high score on the test?
I don't know. Maybe I'm smarter than the average bear. I don't know.
So you're saying that you didn't cheat?
No, I did not cheat. No, absolutely
really
not.
All right. So so you do that. High school. Did you graduate? Did you end up graduating from high school?
I did graduate from high school.
Okay, so you end up graduating from high school. You're in high school. You end up graduating, and then you go to. You don't go to college. You go to the military.
I went to the Marine Corps. I was in a 0311 rifle unit, infantry, and from there I went to the Department of Defense and had a top security clearance. I was a communications troubleshooter for the government, and when they found out I was leader of the Los Angeles Hells Angels, they were taking my top security clearance away. So.
Hold on, wait. So I can't talk. So you joined the Hells Angels before you went to the Marine Corps?
No, I went in the Marine Corps. I came back, started riding motorcycles.
Got it.
And I discharged from the Marines, went to work for the Department of Defense.
Got it.
As a communications troubleshooter. They used to fly me out to the San Nicolas Island, Santa Cruz Islands, and I took care of Point Mugu and Port Hueneme. Point Mugu was a missile test center. They also had a submarine surveillance system. This was during the Cold War with Russia, and my job was to maintain the RCA building on Santa Cruz Island that monitored Russian subs.
Oh, wow.
And that's recently been declassified. It was a classified position, and that's how I had a security clearance. I had a top secret, or I don't know what I forget what the exact title was, but it was a high-level security clearance.
So, walk me through the steps of how you joined the Hells Angel. Like the steps you met.
Met Old Man John up at Kern River. I went up to Kern River with the question marks and the Satan slaves, and Old Man John was up there, and I guess he liked what he saw. He took an interest in me, invited me to the Hells Angels clubhouse in Los Angeles, and I went down there.
Old Man John.
Old Man John, man.
And old man John likes you.
Yeah, he liked me. Old man John was a living legend back in the 70s. You know, he's gone. He died of cancer. Now there's a guy that took it to the grave with him.
Oh, so he was a solid guy.
Yeah, very solid. I know that in the mid 90s, the police went down and he was dying. He had cancer, and they said, "Look, we know you only got a few months left, a few weeks, whatever it is. We want to give you the opportunity to clear your conscience before you pass. I mean, we'd like to know everything there is to know about George Christie." And John's response to them was, "You know what? I don't even know who you're talking about. I don't remember any George Christie." And then a couple of days later, I get a phone call from John telling me the feds were here asking about you, man. So that's solid.
So okay. So old man John saw you, and old man John liked you.
He liked me.
He liked you a lot.
Yeah.
Old man John, how did he convince you to join?
Well, I kind of was. That's what I was there for.
Got it.
Yeah, I was riding with those guys, and I knew eventually somebody probably reach out to me. That's kind of the process. And he asked me, invited me to the clubhouse, and then I came down there, and within 4 months, I got voted into the club, which was pretty fast.
Yeah.
But the old man was pushing everything. I was like his boy, So he was pushing me.
When did things start to take a turn for you? Because now you're doing this, right? You know things is going on.
Right.
But when did things start to take a turn?
Well, are you talking about
pertaining to violence? Pertaining to
I think the violence was always there.
Even when you first joined.
Yeah, I mean, it was always there. Within, I stepped into the club in '76, and by the end of '77, we were in a shooting war with the Mongols in Southern California. We were shooting at each other, blowing each other up. It was like an urban war down there.
How did that start with them? Because
one of the Hell's Angels' girlfriends or wives jumped ship and ran off with the Mongol. And
it can't be.
It can be.
It started over a girl?
Over a woman, man.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
No way. No,
the war with the Outlaws started over a woman.
George,
I got to tell you, man.
George, you got to break that.
All right, cut that. Let's start over.
Okay. Give me the Mongols. The Mongols that started over a woman. So somebody, I guess.
One of the Hells Angels women ran off with a Mongol, and I was there when we first confronted them. There was like 40 of those guys, and there was like 9 of us, and we met by accident.
Okay.
And the 2 guys locked eyes. I didn't even know what was going to happen. The 2 guys locked eyes, and the Hells Angel hit the Mongol, and everything was off.
What?
Within that was at the Orange. See, I'm trying to think where it was. It was a swap meet in Orange County. And
was she there?
No, she was not there. It was just all guys.
Because you guys didn't have cell phones back then.
No, we didn't have nothing back then.
So that means
we didn't even have phone machines, man. We didn't even leave a message.
So that means somebody saw her with him. And they got back to him.
She ran off with him. So he knew, man.
Hopped on the bike. He knew
where she was,
Hey, I used to watch that in the movies, that when the girl left there.
Well, that's where the people in the movies got the idea for it.
She hops on the back.
In real life.
She hops on the back of the bike. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, so if you got a girl, your girl cannot hop on another man's bike.
No, that's
even if she need a ride?
Well, that might be different. Depends how far you're going to take her.
Yeah. Okay, so it started like that.
Yeah, it started like that, man, and it's still going on today.
No way. Hey.
The first 6 months, there was 6 months. There was 6 deaths, murders. The first 2 guys got killed on the freeway on the 15 going into San Diego.
Yeah,
they got machine gunned off their motorcycles. The next 2 guys got blown up in a bike shop. Put a bomb in the tire, and took the tire in to have them change it. The detonator was in the valve stem, and when the guy pulled it valve stem out, the contacts hit, and blew up, killed both of them.
So when these things happen, do they? I think this is it. Is this it? It's 315 Bowery. Is this it?
Well, it's around here somewhere.
315 or 317? I don't know the address.
I'm thinking it was 315, but I could be wrong. What's this?
It's 315.
315.
I see guitars and stuff in there.
I think this is it.
So what? So whose spot is this? Where do we go?
This was the CBGB club, and it was right around the corner from the Hells Angels clubhouse. And we used to come down here, and
are we able to go in here?
I don't know. You know, maybe ask that gentleman.
Excuse me. What is this now? A what? A clothing store?
Didn't the CBGB club? Yeah. This used to be the CBGB club. Yeah, that's.
Oh,
yeah.
I got you.
I used to come down here.
Don't come here beating us up, neither. We know what
No.
to do.
Huh?
Come here beating us up. Y'all don't touch me.
No, I don't do that.
He already got me, man. He got all the frustration out.
I don't do that anymore. I appreciate that. No,
Yeah.
so he used to.
I was in the Hells Angels out in California, and I used to come to New York, and we'd come down to 3rd Street.
Mhm.
That's where the clubhouse was, and then in this week.
We got left though.
Can we go check that out? Yeah.
You can take pictures though, but they're like recording.
Okay, so we can't record. We can take pictures. Okay. Yeah. So this spot was.
So we used to go to the clubhouse.
Yeah.
No.
They
I
won't
just remember being here. I don't remember how I got here.
Yeah. They wouldn't let us film in there, but so this is clubhouse. What's the spot called now, JR? Something Valentino's? John Bravados. Oh yeah, man. Come on, John. So what was significant about this spot right here?
Well, I mean, he used to let us come in there for free.
Okay.
Free drinks.
Okay.
A lot of partying.
Okay.
And they broke a lot of bands in there. And, Talking Heads, Blondie, the Ramones, I think. I could go on and on.
What does that mean, broke a lot of bands in there? What does
That's
that
where
mean?
they started. Like now she's kind of a icon now. I mean, she was just a young blonde singer, and that's where she started. The Talking Heads, David Bryan, I think, is that how you pronounce his name?
Mhm.
He's very popular.
Okay.
And
Wow.
wow.
Oh,
I should have put more hairspray in my hair.
So you remember coming down to the spot?
I do.
How often did you travel to New York to the East?
Probably made 3 or 4 trips a year to come out here for meetings. There was a gentleman out here named Sandy Alexander.
Sandy Alexander.
He was the leader out here of. He established the Hells Angels here, and I tell you, he knew every celebrity in town. I met John Belushi through him.
Was he? So then he was the head of the Hells Angels. Okay, they talking about this street.
Out here on 3rd Street.
Oh, look, let's go back here. Oh.
Wow. I don't.
Yeah. What this
Quite
is.
the alley here, huh?
Yeah.
It's
I never saw this alley before. Did you guys get along? Did Hells Angels beef with other Hells Angels?
at times.
Really?
Like any family, man. You have a beef, but we had rules.
And what would be the rules? Let's go over that.
If you're going to fight a brother, you had to take your rings off.
Okay.
No using weapons on a brother.
No weapons.
No weapons on a brother.
So it was strictly fist fighting.
Fist fighting. Yeah.
Okay. So has Hell's Angel killed a Hell's Angel?
Well,
and if he did,
the record speaks for itself. Yeah, there's been a lot of. No one's ever been convicted of killing another Hell's Angel, with the exception of one individual a few years ago. But law enforcement's made a lot of speculation. Oh, here's the back of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at it, yeah.
A lot of speculation as to what the police call in-house cleanings.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm a dog guy.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I have a German Shepherd.
I have a Jack Russell.
Oh.
Yeah. you know Jack Russell?
Yes, I do.
Little feisty dudes.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
So before we got, we was going there. I want to go to the. I do want to discuss. So you're in the Hell's Angel.
Right.
You know things are going on.
Right.
A lot of things are happening. You had war with the Mongols because it was on.
It was on. Yeah.
6 people died
in the first 6 months.
In the first
I don't
6
know
months.
I don't know how many people have died now. The war's been going on since '77.
Do you think and you said it's still going on?
It's still going on. Yeah, I no longer remember, but I know it's going on.
Why would it go on for so long? Over some ass?
Well,
George, man, you know that, George.
Well, it was some good ass.
Okay, yeah. You know what? You're right.
Okay, what can I say?
You're right. Okay, so that's happening. While that's going on, are there any other factions that you guys are warring with at the time?
Yeah, the Outlaws.
The Outlaws.
The Pagans.
So tell me about the Outlaws. You said the Outlaws started over a girl as well.
That's correct. It started right here in New York on 3rd Street. A gentleman came to town to visit Sandy Alexander. They had both been part of another motorcycle club called the Aliens.
Okay.
And Grease Lightning was his nickname.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he made inappropriate advances at Sandy's woman, Colette.
Mm.
And when Sandy came back to town, Sandy was out of town, Colette explained what happened. Sandy went looking for him. Sandy was also a professional boxer.
Really?
So he really put it on Peter. I think his name's Peter, Grease Lightning. I know him by Grease Lightning. And he went back, told the Outlaws what happened, and next thing you know, it's escalating. 2 Hells Angels go down to Florida to follow up on somebody running around down there with a Hell's Angel tattoo selling dope.
Mm-hmm.
So they go down there to ensure that the tattoo's covered. They run across the Outlaws. They're invited to come to the Outlaw Clubhouse, which they had been warned not to do that. And Whiskey George and a gentleman named Riverboat, they were murdered and thrown in a rock quarry. And that's what really kicked the war off.
Oh.
That was in '74, I think.
So they were murdered.
Correct.
Thrown in a rock quarry.
Right.
And
weighted down and thrown in a rock quarry.
So how did you guys find out they were murdered?
Well, you just can't throw a body in the water weighted down because it floats up.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. No, he wants to be part of the video. Dog rights. We know. We get it.
Yeah, we got.
We know all about dog rights.
We do. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay. Yeah. So how you doing? Okay. Wow. So the body came back up.
The body came back up.
And then they saw it.
And then now in the meantime, the 2 Hells Angels had told other Hells Angels, specifically, I think Sandy Alexander from New York City here, we're going to go over to the Outlaws clubhouse. And Sandy said, don't go over there, man. So when the guys didn't show back up home, they called the Outlaws. And Jim Nolan, the leader of the Outlaws, said, well, hell, they went home. We don't know where they are. But Jim Nolan had ordered their murders. And
so different.
A lot of story to grasp, huh?
Yeah. So the bike clubs, you guys were cool with they were cool with each other. So that he was able to speak to him.
Well,
he was able to speak to Jim.
It's kind of ironic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. People were communicating. We were at war with the banditos in Europe, in all the Scandinavian countries. They were killing each other, and I was meeting probably every 3 or 4 weeks with the international leader of the banditos to try to resolve the problem. Yeah.
But my question is this, and this way it gets a little, it's not confusing, but okay.
It's a lot to absorb.
Yeah.
In one sitting.
He told him, yo, do not go
to the clubhouse.
But why did he tell him that? If they thought they was cool, I agree with the 2 fellas that went. If we why I can't go?
I'll tell you why. Probably for the same reason I did a lot of crazy stuff, because when you're, in your 20s, early 30s, you're Hell's Angel, you're sitting on top of the world in the outlaw bike culture, you think you're invincible, man. Think back about when you were 22, 25 years old.
You're right. You're right.
Nothing scared you, man. You're never going to die.
Yeah, but George, if I'm thinking that I'm cool with somebody, I'm not gonna think I'm gonna lose my life. That's what I'm saying. So why?
Yeah, but you don't think that. You think you're cool with the guy.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So when they went there, they beat him. Do we know the? Did they give you guys the details?
No details. We just where they got the details, and they were from the informants. We were talking about in the car. We were talking about informants.
Yeah.
That's Jim Nolan wound up getting 50 years
Because of that.
because of that. Yeah, because it's the guy he ordered to go do it ratted on him.
Squealed.
Yeah.
Did you know Jim Nolan?
Well, yeah, I do know Jim Nolan. I don't know him well, but him and I've spent some time together talking, and this was after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
But
so now everything is going on. There's wars and stuff like that. Things are turning up. There's always wars.
Right.
Was there a rule amongst you guys that there should be no selling drugs?
Well, I think there are people that have made different charters. Like I said, we spoke earlier that each charter is autonomous. There are charters that don't allow you to sell narcotics.
Same thing as the Italian mob.
Yeah,
Italian mafia, yeah.
There are charters that they want you to work. You know, the object of being outlaw biker is to ride your motorcycle, have fun, chase girls, just not from another motorcycle club.
Yeah,
that was a joke.
Exactly. No, I got you. I got you.
Come on, man, laugh a little bit.
No, because it's cold outside. I don't want to.
Man.
Yo, me and Jay are gonna come out. We got you. So where I'm bringing you now, George, is a place called Brooklyn Chop House.
All right.
You know, I know back in the days, I don't know what you used to eat back in the days, but this is like, fusion.
Wait a minute, man. Isn't that where they killed Dutch Schultz in the Chop House?
No, not this one, not this chop house, not this chop house. Can you hear us, JR? Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Let's fix this one. Oh, it's right here. All right, come on. Oh, we good. Let's do it.
We're good?
Yeah. So this is Brooklyn Chop House is like,
this Chop House neutral territory.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can't, nothing can happen here.
Kind of like when I go to Sonny's house.
Nah, not when you go to Sonny's house. So, I totally forgot that we're out here.
The ball's going to drop.
Yeah, salute. All right, bless, bro. Yeah, the ball's going to drop in a couple of days. I don't know what made you come out here today.
That shit is your fault, man.
My fault? Oh, shit. Let's walk it right here. Oh, man. The ball's going to drop. So you out here. How many days you out here for?
I'm leaving. I'm going home New Year's Eve. I got to get home to my honey, man.
Yes, of course. Queenzflip, we are here. JR, I'm going to buy some, y'all have to. If we coming out here New Year, I got to.
Well, you got on that North Face stuff, man.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to be like my son. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to be like him. Get the swag together. All right, how you doing, brother? Bless. So they know already. They know already. Huh?
Chad.
Who?
Chad.
Oh, I don't know. Who is this? I don't know. What's up, man? Queenzflip? How you doing, Bless, bro? How you doing, bro? All right? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, George. So welcome to Brooklyn Chop House. This is kind of hip. It's not like back in the day.
You guarantee my safety here.
Yeah, you good. We following you? Yeah, your safety good. Your safety good. What's up, baby? You good? Yeah. You not working today? All right, man. Come down.
Nice.
Man. Yeah. Huh? Who tried to eagle me? I mean,
nobody slows him down.
Yeah, you can't slow me down, man.
No, you got the key to the city.
I wish. JR does. JR does. Chad, what's up, man?
I'm good, bro.
Yeah, all right, man. Hook me up, man. You know. All right. Thank you very much. Shout out to Don
Thank you.
Pooh. He showed me this. So, yeah, we able to be down here.
It's kind of like Goodfellas, right?
Chad, where should we sit at, Chad? Over this? Yeah, there we go. Me and you sit here, JR sit here, I sit here. Come on. Not crazy. So they gave us a section. I wanted to come down. I do.
So you let me know when you're ready. I'll send somebody to look.
No,
up. You want to do your interview first, and
no, we're gonna do it at the same time.
Same time?
Yeah, we got to big up. We got to big up Don Pooh and everything. Yeah, give him my man. Give him a menu as well, Jerry. You know what you want?
The same thing again.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, man.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
What water? You want bottled water?
Yeah, I like. You like bottled water?
Any kind of water, man.
Yeah.
What
What you like?
you
What
want,
you
still or you want sparkling? What do you want?
I like still, but I don't know.
Okay, still's fine.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh wow, they got chicken flat noodles here. Huh?
So JR, you know what I get. So from here, guys. So right now, shout out, we in Brooklyn Chop House. Are we able to get the lights here on?
How do you want it?
Yeah, fix the lights for me and stuff. Last time when I did it with Pooh, the lights was on, so I want the lights on. Yeah. My mic is.
It's not off. It's just rubbing against your jacket.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
Now is this the kind of LSD I used to get up from the Grateful Dead?
Grateful Dead. Hey, you're a jokester. You just started joking though. Like you've been like this your whole life.
Yeah.
Cause I watched that interview, the 60 Minutes, and you tried to. It's like you wanted to laugh at my man. You wanted to laugh at him. You warned him not to do it, didn't you?
I warned him not to do it. You know, he didn't talk to me for 6 months.
Really?
He blamed it on me. He said, "Why didn't you tell me?" Well, because everybody was clowning him. Like we went to a meeting and somebody says, "Hey George, how come you didn't pull a stage hook on him and get him off stage, man?" He goes, "What kind of brother are you?" And you know, everybody was clowning him, and he got real mad at me, man. And he wouldn't, you know, I mean, it didn't get physical. He just wouldn't talk to me.
He wouldn't talk to you.
He ignored me for 6 months, and then
Like, did you guys see each other? And he ignored you?
yeah. He'd act like I wasn't there and shit.
Really?
Yeah, he's funny. Like he'd come up one time, like he was going to shake my hand, but he had it set up. He had a brother behind him, and he went up and shook his hand. But it was like it looked like I thought he was making up with me, but he was clowning me. You know.
You didn't get mad?
Nah, I just laughed it off. You know.
Who
That was Cisco Valderrama.
Okay, tell me Cisco's role.
He took Sonny's. He took Irish's place after Irish got murdered.
Oh.
So, like, Irish got murdered. And,
Take your jacket as well? Or you good?
Yeah, I'm gonna take my jacket
take your
off.
jacket
I
off
want
so
to
we
show
can-
off my muscles.
Yeah,
and
so we can
stuff.
fix your mic and stuff. So what I usually get from here, real quick, when they come, yo, what's up? You know, we at Brooklyn Chop House. I had to bring George Christie here, show him a little bit of our flavor. I don't know why George Christie decided to come the 29th in 2 days.
I didn't want to miss the action, man.
In 2 days. What do I usually get from here, JR? I get the
Chicken fried rice, spicy kung pao chicken.
yeah, spicy. So you want the same thing?
Yes.
Spicy kung pao chicken, chicken fried rice. Yeah.
You did that just to accommodate me, huh?
I had to. So when we was outside, before we got inside, we were talking about the old man brought you in,
Old man John.
old man John. And old man John was he started what?
He was one of the original Los Angeles Hells Angels.
Okay. And how many of them were the original? There's a lot.
25.
25.
You know, people hear, well, the Hells Angels in Los Angeles, Hells Angels in Oakland, 20 people that are committed to the club.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. But what you have to consider also is then you have the prospects who they branch out with their friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have people that want to have a friendly relationship with the club that you can continue. You could consider what we call hang-arounds or friends of the club. So what happens is it branches out, and pretty soon, you got maybe 150 people that you can reach out and tap into.
Oh, got it.
So
When did you meet Sonny?
I met Sonny when I was in the club. Sonny was in Folsom Prison, and I met him upon his return when he was paroled.
Okay, so was it the same club you guys were in?
We're both Hells Angels.
Yeah, Hells Angels, but was it?
He was Oakland, I was Los Angeles.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Oakland and Los Angeles, the club will be Hells Angels, but if it's Oakland and Los Angeles, those are called chapters?
Chapters, independent, autonomous.
Got it.
And also, when I got in the club, Oakland and Los Angeles weren't on the best of terms.
Weren't on the best.
No, so, certainly it's a brotherhood, but situations occur politically, otherwise, and it creates tensions and wedges. It's just like anybody, over the years, probably relationships you've had at one point in time, you're friends with somebody, you separate a little bit, and sometimes you reconstruct the relationship, or it breaks, and you never get back together,
I'm trying to figure out, so Sonny, he comes from prison, and I guess
1978, I think.
and you guys,
it was.
they
77.
They threw a party for him? What did they, they threw a...
Well, Oakland had a private return party for him because he was on parole, and we were on the cusp of having our first RICO indictment for racketeering. And he got out. They got him for income taxes, and they got him for racketeering. And they re-indicted him. But as I mentioned earlier, Mueller, who was the the U.S. attorney, was not successful
At all.
No, he actually, we didn't beat it outright, but they just couldn't convict us, and they just decided they didn't want to spend any more money. They had two costly trials with not one guilty verdict. It was a mistrial.
So what I'm saying is that, okay, so you meet him and then you guys connect. You guys hit
We
it
do,
off.
yeah.
And when you guys hit it off,
I had a lot of, I admired him a lot. He was a legend, man. I knew about Sonny Barger when I was in high school. And, I had this aspirations to be part of that outlaw world, that outlaw movement. I had told you in 1955, probably 56, I saw my first outlaw biker in San Fernando Valley, and I was hooked. I went, wow, check that guy out, riding a Harley with a Levi cut.
Yeah.
He was looking badass. For me, he was.
So you've been heard about him?
I heard about him when I was in high school. There was a little local club in town called the Question Marks. I mentioned them.
You mentioned them earlier.
And they were friends and sponsored as part of that 1% community in the outlaw biker world. Have you heard the term 1%er?
I have.
Yeah. And the American Motorcycle Association was confronted by the San Francisco Chronicle in 1948 and said, how do you explain all these outlaw bikers? And they said, well, those people ruin it for the wholesome riders like ourselves. They go, they only make up 1%. So everybody just wrapped their arms around that title, man. And, and the new term, ironically, it was originated by the American Motorcycle Association. They're the ones that gave us that title, and everybody loved it. And they eventually put badges on, and they started having 1%er meetings where the different clubs would interact with each other. And that's how Sonny Barger's name traveled. Like, you figure he became a Hells Angel in 1957. Boots was the first president, but Sonny shortly took over. And by 1963, 64, I was hearing about the Hells Angels, going to Bass Lake, and they had a problem in Monterey. Hunter Thompson came out with his book. You remember the Hunter Thompson book? Big hit for Hunter Thompson. I mean, it really put him on the track as an author. He became a respected author from that book, and created actually what he called a new style of writing. He called it gonzo writing, where he inserted himself into these stories, And I was reading about Sonny, reading about him in the paper, reading about him in books, and I was hearing about him through the culture, through the street culture.
So then
There
now,
was a small, despite what people think, there was a small elite street culture of motorcycle people back then,
Okay.
In the old days, when you rode your motorcycle, man, if you ran into another outlaw, you wanted to go talk to him, It wasn't like, worry, is this guy going to shoot me or is it going to be a problem? I mean, you guys wanted to talk. It was a very small community. And if you saw another guy riding a chopper like you, man, you wanted to interact with him, find out where he was coming from, where he was from, get a phone number maybe, hang out with him, go party with him. So it was a whole different
even if he was a
environment.
part of another outlaw gang.
Yeah, but people weren't fighting back then, like,
Got it.
I mean, people weren't killing people. You get in an argument with somebody, maybe the worst thing that could happen is if you got in a fight in the bar, the guy that lost would buy breakfast in the morning at 2,
So you and Sonny build. When did things start to turn left with you and Sonny?
Probably around 1978.
Really?
Yeah.
So you met him in what, 70?
77, 78. I mean, I met him and immediately, Sonny was the kind of guy that if you didn't agree with him, you were his enemy. And politically, I had a different agenda than him. I had a different vision as a leader than him. And certainly in the beginning, I stood mute a lot of times because I respected him as a leader. But
Respected his position.
Yeah, absolutely. But it got to a point where I was creating my own leadership style, and I was starting to get some recognition within the club. And when I thought he was wrong, I felt that I had an obligation to respectfully confront him. And he didn't like that.
Oh, come on, George. You know you can't confront the homies, man.
Well, man, maybe that's the root of my problem.
So, okay, you meet Sonny, y'all cool.
Right.
Even though Sonny is doing bullshit, you still stand by him because it's the right
he's a
thing to
leader,
do.
man.
He's a leader.
Yeah. He's not an official leader. Well, we spoke about this several times. He's a de facto leader.
De facto leader.
Yeah. It's a position that ultimately I wound up kind of stepping into unwantingly. It just, it happened.
He gets locked up.
He gets locked up in 1987. I come back. I have a case. I've got that murder for hire case.
Okay.
The government presents it to the jury as a bona fide murder. And then they open the case up. The jurors think it's a actual murder has transpired. My lawyer does his opening statement and explains to the jury, this is a hoax. This is a government hoax. Mr. Christie had no interest, had no agenda against this guy. This was a scheme the government created to entrap Mr. Christie. And that's what the jury decided.
So it was a real body, though.
Nobody dead. It was a real person. They pretended he was dead.
But he wasn't dead.
No, they put him in. They staged a murder.
Okay, come on, George.
They staged a murder, man. I'm telling you, they staged a murder. Would I lie to you?
You wouldn't lie to me, no.
Okay, all right, there you go, right there. There
so
it is.
the feds
they
staged
a murder in the Arizona prison, and they took him out in a. This shit's all documented. They took him out in an ambulance, so the word would get passed around that he died. And I got a phone call later that day at the clubhouse, and somebody said, "Hey, Tom Chaney's dead." And I said, well, "What the fuck's that got to do with me?" And I hung up the phone. The following day, I got arrested by the cops for murder for hire. They said I ordered the murder. I will tell you this: they had me in some compromising conversations with a government informant. Like he wanted me to pay him $10,000 so he wouldn't kill this inmate at an Arizona federal prison. And I said, I'm not paying you $10,000. And they go, well, we're going to kill him. And I said, if you guys want $10,000 from him, you're going to have to collect it from him because I'm not paying. And I don't care if you do kill him. So that they had me saying that on tape.
So who was the guy that they wanted to kill?
Tom Cheney. He was a guy that Ventura Hells Angels had an issue with.
Why did you have an issue with Tom?
Because he masqueraded as a Ventura Hells Angel when he wasn't. So when the informant...
And it's punishable by death?
What do you mean?
Meaning that if you masquerade, I thought you just ripped the...
Well, I mean, it's not punishable by death, but it's certainly, I think the least accountability would be a good ass kicking.
Yes,
don't you?
Yeah, I do. I agree.
Yeah, okay.
I agree. So he was basically pretending to be
a Hell's Angel, yeah. And I got a phone call and said, hey, there's a guy down here in prison saying he's a Ventura Hell's Angel. And I go, that's bullshit, man. I go, he's not a Ventura Hell's Angel. And kind of put some smut on him. You know, you've heard that word. Mm-hmm. He got some smut put on him. So he had a vendetta against the Ventura Hells Angels. Mm. And he decided to work with the government so he could get out of jail.
Tom Cheney,
yeah.
Wow. But I'm confused then. If he works for the government, what information would he be able to provide if he wasn't a Hells Angel?
He was not providing any information. He's acting as an instrument for them to entrap me. You get it?
Got it.
It's
all made up.
Yeah, the whole thing was made up. You know, the last day of the trial, the government had to admit that he was alive. FBI agents went up on the stage and up on the stand, and my lawyer said, "Is Tom Cheney alive or dead?" Well, he's alive. Does Tom Cheney work for you guys? Is he in the witness protection program? Yes, he is. Did you allow Tom Cheney to leave prison and I don't know what the proper term would be, you terminated his sentence? Yes, we did. Well, the jury didn't like that, you know. The jury said, well, Christie didn't want the guy dead. You guys wanted him dead. I didn't go to the informant and say, I want to kill this guy. Will you help me? He came to me and said, we're going to kill this guy. Do you have a problem? I mean, did I break a moral law? Perhaps, but I didn't break a legal law.
And that was the guy that was that the guy that had the wire in his boot?
No, you're thinking of Tony Tate, who had a wire in his cast. Yeah,
gotcha.
That's a whole different story.
So who?
And they keep sending these informants. And how do these informants get paid?
Government.
Exactly. Who pays the government?
Taxpayers.
That's right. We pay them. I'm paying for my own investigation in a sense. It's kind of an ironic twist, but you know, think about it. Everybody that pays income taxes, everybody that's paying taxes on gases, that money's getting funneled back to the government, and it's used for things that aren't appropriate in investigations. It's entitled going outside the guidelines of the investigative. Yeah, and that's what they did. We proved they went outside the guidelines. The jury was really upset, and the judge thought I was guilty. The U.S. attorney thought I was guilty. You know, the feds thought I was guilty, but the jury said, no, he's not guilty. You guys created this problem. Mr. Christie was just at the shop.
Yeah, but then the case doesn't make sense, though.
Why doesn't it make sense?
It couldn't been, because why would if Tom was alive,
okay,
right? If Tom was alive, the jury, not the jury, the judge and the prosecutors were supposed to drop the case. He's alive.
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Because what would you be guilty on? The charge
conspiracy
was murder
for hire.
So they still try to put you for the conspiracy.
Yeah, whether the murder transpires or not.
The conspiracy charge.
It's a conspiracy.
Got it,
and they said I hired that individual.
The conspiracy part is saying if you want to kill him.
If there's an overt act of you and I talking about, let's kill this guy.
Yeah. I don't care what you do, gotta kill him.
Yeah, let's kill him. You know, well, that's complicity, and that's what they said. But the jury didn't buy it. The jury said, no. If you hadn't approached Mr. Christie, there would have been no crime. He didn't have a propensity to have this guy killed. You created the crime. It's all technical legal stuff.
I got it. I'm with you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You're voting not guilty.
Not guilty.
Okay, all right, I was just checking.
All right, so
I just want to know where we stand.
now we good. Now you and I good. You and I
Okay,
good.
all right.
So you come back. I mean, so you get locked up. How long? How much time?
I was there a
you
year.
get? Yeah.
Yeah,
Not guilty. You home.
I'm home.
And when
No
you
compensation.
no compensation.
No compensation. You know?
When you come home, is Sonny home as well?
Sonny's home.
Okay.
And there's a new guy in town, Tony Tate.
Tony Tate.
Tony Tate. Now you know that name rings a bell to you. Now his
Tony
name
Tate.
means something.
Yeah. So Tony Tate. So Tony Tate came around while you were incarcerated.
Yes. Well, he rose the ranks while I was incarcerated. He was a Hell's Angel up in Alaska. Alaska, man. And he should have stayed there. Or we should have left him there. Well, I better be careful.
Yeah, you better be
Incriminate
careful.
myself.
So Tony rose the ranks.
He rose the ranks. When I came home, I was the West Coast chairman. When I left, I returned to my position as West Coast chairman. Now, sitting next to me is the secretary, who's same secretary, solid Hell's Angel. But now there's the new sergeant at arms sitting to my right, and that's Tony Tate. And you know, he goes to a couple of meetings. I don't really care for him. Him and I almost getting a fist fight at here in New York at the Limelight. I'm in Joan Jett's dressing room, hanging out with her, talking to her. You know, we're having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Tate shows up, barges into the dressing room. You know, makes himself real big. So Joan's getting ready to go on perform for us.
Mm-hmm.
She's performing for free, you know, and just as a favor to the Hells Angels because she's friends with us. And the manager says, "Do you guys mind giving Joan 5-10 minutes alone so she can get ready to perform?" So I said, "Let's get out of here, guys." And Tate goes, "I'm not fucking leaving, man. Fuck him." You know, she's talking about Joan's manager. And I go, "Wait a minute." I go, "Joan's gracious enough to do this as a favor, and you're saying fuck them?" I go, "No, that ain't happening, Tony." So Tony and I go out in the hallway, and we're like having words. And I've got to tell you, man, the guy didn't back down. Like, I'm getting in his face, and he's getting back in my face, and I'm thinking, I'm so mad at him, and I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at that third button down on his shirt, man, right where his solar plexus is. And I'm thinking, man, I'm just going to just throw a short right and not take the wind out of him, man. I don't want to hear him no more. And Joan Jett walks out. She has no idea, man. She breaks up this fight between two Hells Angels. There's like probably 10 Hells Angels standing there. They're listening to me and Tony fight. So Joan goes out to get on. We all kind of follow her. About 5 days later, guess who shows up in Ventura? Tony Tate. He wants to apologize. And oh, by the way, since I'm here, do you happen to have a good drug connection? And this is from the 60-minute interview. Remember you saw it?
I did.
Earlier, yeah.
I did.
And so I let him know that I thought his behavior with Joan was inappropriate, but I'm willing to accept his apology. We shake hands. But I said, but I will tell you this. I'm not in the drug business. And I said, I'm not going to pursue trying to find you any drug connection because I'm not getting involved in this with you, man.
Did you feel like he was wearing a wire?
Yeah, no, I didn't know if he was wired, but I did not like him. And, you know, that's when I deferred to David Ortega, who is my longtime running friend. I've known him since 1966. It's now 1987, so we got a long history.
Of course.
And Dave's what I call, in the outlaw bike world, a regular. I mean, he knows it all. He's the guy to go. He's the go-to guy. You want a second opinion? Mm-hmm. So I went to Dave, and I said, so what do you think, man? And he goes, I don't like the motherfucker. And I go, well, I don't either. And I go, what is it? And we couldn't put our finger on it. And then Dave finally just comes off with this classic old school. He goes, you know what, man? I don't like the way he parts his hair. And I go, well, that's good enough for me. And so I cut him loose. I told everybody to cut him loose. He went down to San Bernardino, wound up buying a pound of drugs from another Hells Angel that never had to answer for it because he was murdered by the Mongols before his court trial came up. But he buys that pound of drugs from him, goes back up to the Bay Area, and now him and Sonny have created this conspiracy to blow up the Outlaws in Kentucky.
Oh.
So he comes to me, and he's sitting next to me, and he's just like this, and he's got this brand new white cast on his arm. Now, he claims he got in a bike wreck. So I look at him and I go, "You're a lucky guy, Tony." He gets kind of paranoid. He says, "What do you mean?" I go, "You went down on your bike, man?" I go, "You don't have a single piece of road rash on you, man." I go, "You're a lucky dude." And he just got all weird. And he goes, "Well, look, I want permission to blow these guys up." So my red flag comes up. And I don't want people out there thinking that I'm some sort of peacenik. I am, but I'm not.
Got it.
In order to be an effective peacemaker, you have to be willing to go to war. That's the only way you're going to be effective. And I told him, I go, "Look, man, I'm trying to end this thing, not perpetuate it." But in the back of my mind, I'm not saying to Tony, I'm going, "Man, we're at war with the Outlaws. You don't need my permission to drive to Kentucky and blow these guys up. If you're a player, what do? You
Play.
go, yeah, exactly, man. Yeah,
You play.
So he goes out. I tell him, I just shut him down, man. There's like another dozen Hells Angel officers in there, all from the Northern California charters. Maybe some East Coast guys there as well. I don't remember. But I adjourned the meeting. He goes out to his FBI handlers, and they cut the cast off because they go, "Fuck, man, they're going to open that cast up." They were worried I was going to have somebody break the cast open on him. And I didn't, because out of respect, he's a Hells Angel member.
True.
So what does he do? And this will give you an idea of the time frame. So what do they do with the bug? They don't have the cast anymore. They put the bug in a new device that has just started to circulate around people. It's called a beeper. Huh? So he goes over to Sonny's house. Now he's got the beeper on him with the bug in it. So this is the ironic thing. He's engaging Sonny in a conversation, but he hasn't taken the conversation far enough for Sonny to incriminate himself. So they page him. So he looks at the pager. This. I'm not making this up. This is all documented.
Yeah.
It was in the Kentucky trial. So he's looking at the pager, and it's his handler. So he goes, "Hey, Sonny, can I use your phone?" He goes to Sonny's payphone, or not payphone, house phone, gets on the phone, and they go, "You got to get him to say this." And he hangs up, and he said, "Look, Sonny," he goes, "I'm going to plant that bomb big." He goes, "Do you have a problem with that?" And he said, "No. The bigger the explosion, the better." And he goes, "What about innocent bystanders?" And Ralph goes, "Hey, that teaches him to hang out with those guys."
Oh.
So he did 5 years for that. And, I walked away. So what we have here is we have one conversation, two outcomes. I walk, Sonny goes to prison. So it's a convoluted, complicated story, but if you sit down and think about it, it's not that complicated. And you saw the 60-minute interview.
I did.
The Mike Wallace was exaggerated, and I'll tell you, they busted probably 3 or 4 people up in Oakland, for 2 guys for cooking crank, and maybe 1 or 2 guys for selling the crank cooked by the cookers.
Of course.
Okay. Sonny and Irish went to jail for conspiring to blow up the Outlaws, the one that I walked away with. Now, a funny story goes along with this. Kenny Owens winds up getting 40 years, and Chico gets
Magellani.
41 years. They both do about 28 years. They both go to prison, and they don't come back till the mid-90s. But when I go up to see Kenny when Kenny gets back, because Kenny and I are friends. And I had asked, when I got busted, I had asked Kenny, I said, "Kenny, can I borrow 10 grand?" And he goes, "Hey, look, man, I just don't have any dough to loan you." And he had $3 million in his house and 30 pounds of crank. So when of course I got to bust his balls, You know, when I
Of
come
course,
back,
of course.
I go, so you didn't have any dough, huh? He goes, oh yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about that, George. He goes, I had it. He had it in the wall. He had taken the drywall out, stacked all the money in there, and then put the drywall back up, and you know, went over it. He goes, I couldn't open it up. And I go, whatever, man. You know, but
Did the police find it?
yeah, they took it. They took 30 pounds of crank, and they took the $3 million because Kenny, I think, had shared the fact. This guy Tony Tate, he convinced a lot of people, and this is one of the things, and I write about this in my new book. One of the things that Sonny did publicly, he was in such a battle with me, and he could see I was gaining power, I was gaining momentum as a leader. He's getting ready to go to jail, and he had to answer for something he said. He publicly told the club, hey, look, man, everybody should really start looking at Tony Tate from Alaska because he is the Hells Angels of the future. And he left, and everybody had that thought in their head.
So he, in order to shun you, he did that.
Yeah, but he didn't know the guy was a rat. But still, it's a poor judge of character if you're a leader and you're overtly, openly saying, look, everybody, you ought to follow this guy because, you know, this guy's not only the sergeant at arms, he's the future of the Hells Angels. And like Sonny always thought I was kind of weak. You know, him and I got in an argument one time. You know, he told me, he goes, you're too friendly with the enemy. And I go, I'm too friendly? And he goes, yeah. And I go, well, you know, Sonny, they don't call that weak. You know what they call it in politics? They call it diplomacy. And I said, I'm trying to be diplomatic with these guys. I'm trying to see our members quit going to jail, and I'm trying to see our members stop being killed.
Well, okay.
Am I going too fast?
You
Yeah,
know,
I
that's
mean, you know, that's something that.
Were you in the club when he said that? Like,
Yeah. I wasn't there when he said it, but.
You wasn't there in person, but you heard about it.
Yeah, I was the chairman of the West Coast. I mean, I heard it. You know, I hear all the scuttlebutt, and you know, it was something. Look, imagine being a leader of that organization, the face of that organization, and telling the general membership, "Hey, this is the guy you should be looking at in the future." And then you find out that he works for the government. And imagine going to sleep every night
with that on your mind.
With that on your mind, hey, you know, this is what I said. And how did I don't know? You know, Sonny was an interesting guy. You know, him and I got in a big dialogue about how members should be treated, how they should be nurtured, how they should be brought along. And you know, Sonny, during this conversation, Sonny. He told me, he goes, I burn every bridge I cross. I ain't fucking ever going back. And he goes, I don't want to go back. And I told him, I said, look, as a former Marine, I go, man, you always got to leave one path.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's either for a tactical retreat or to bring in more supplies.
Of course. That makes sense. Yeah.
And I said, I can't see that, son. I don't understand it. And he just, you know, I mean, Sonny was a stand-up dude, man. He just said, well, you know, that's the fucking way I see it. I'm Sonny Barger.
Here's the thing. The confusion part is, okay, so Sonny sort of took over because he became the face of the Hells Angels.
Yeah, he brought the power from Southern California
to y'all,
to the Bay Area, to Oakland, to the, you know.
And did he sort of
he dictated policy. He changed the center patch. He didn't like the small center patch. He liked the stylistic, larger style death head. And I mean, the club went with everything he wanted. You know, he pretty much got whatever he wanted.
But and forgive me for being. I like to take my time a little bit.
That's fine. You take as long as you want, man. I want everybody. Not only it's important for everybody viewing this to understand everything because it's very complex and it's convoluted. And it's a particular code that a lot of people maybe have never been exposed to before.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you, I want to, when we go our separate ways, and I want you to understand everything. I don't want any doubt. I don't want you going to bed tonight going, I wonder what that dude's, what's really going on.
So here's the thing. Sonny, you're in Ventura. That's where
Yeah,
you're
I was from Los Angeles.
Yes.
I packed up the charter and moved to Ventura.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted a new location.
Exactly. But then they said, what I also heard is that Sonny was able to get people from other chapters to come to his.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
So
he used to poach the best people up and down the coast and from the East Coast as well. You know, if he would see somebody, and perhaps that was his undoing in a sense, he'd see somebody like Tony Tate
from Alaska.
He'd bring him to Oakland. You know, Tony never made that transition, and perhaps it was because the feds didn't want all that political pulling, but Oakland used to take people, you know, yeah.
Okay, and then, all right, but okay, so.
Irish was Los Angeles Hell's Angel with me, and Oakland poached him out of Los Angeles. And, you know, we talked earlier about when is the first time I talked to Sonny. I had went to Oakland to talk to Russell Bea, the vice president of Oakland. They wanted to know why I wouldn't allow Irish O'Farrells to transfer to Oakland. And I said, because you guys are poaching everybody. You're poaching all of our best guys. Well, and I actually write it in the book.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I actually write it in the book, but Oakland always gets what they want in the end. And they did. They got Irish in the end. But I let them know that was probably the first time I let Sonny know I thought they were doing something wrong. It was wrong. I go, you know, we're trying to build a stronghold in Southern California, and yet you're taking my best guys. When I was president down there in Los Angeles, they had taken probably a half a dozen guys and brought them to Oakland.
All the good guys.
All the good guys. Yeah, and I had to kick. I wound up kicking after I got voted in as vice president. My first job was I got permission from old man John, and I said, hey, you know, John, the old saying really has a lot of meaning here. You know, the weakest chain is its weakest link. Mm-hmm. You know, a chain with a weak link is no good. And so I wound up, you know, kicking 4 or 5 guys with John's permission out of the club. You know, the first night I got voted into office. And my message, when I said no to Irish, I didn't stop it, but I stalled it for about 4 months, 5 months.
What Irish was saying? He said he wants to go?
Yeah, Irish wanted to go. Told me he wanted to go. And, you know, Irish and I were very close. And I said, I go, man, why you want to go? You should stay down here and help us, man. We're in the middle of a fight with the Mongols. And he just goes, look, man, I've been up here in the Bay Area, going in prison at San Quentin for 7 years because I feel like this is my home now. I want to stay up here in Oakland. And I said, okay. I finally got voted yes, but he had to come to the meeting. And he had to get parole. They wanted him to transfer while he was still in prison. I wouldn't allow it.
So, okay, let me put my thoughts together. This is you, vice president of the chapter.
Right.
Sonny is Oakland.
Right. He's back now. He's
back now, and he is the.
Well, he's certainly the leader, but Oakland.
So he's on the level of old man.
Yeah, he's like old man John.
Okay, so all right, so he's old man John. Boom, you're here. He's old man John. He's taking some of your guys. Now, I see the understanding. You said that you became. What did you become after you became vice president?
I can't remember. Probably 6 months. I became president of Los Angeles.
President.
The old man turned it over to me.
Got you. So now,
and his exact words were at a meeting. He said, "Look, this is a young man's game."
Got it.
He goes, "I want you to take over. I'll be here if you need me." He goes, "I'm not going anywhere." And he stuck around another several more years. I think he knew he had cancer. when he stepped down. And I think he ultimately died in the mid-90s, you know. But
so now you and Sonny
right
on the same level, but in different chapters.
Well, I'm certainly on the same level on a technical plane, but
not as far
George
as
Christie is no Sonny Barger. Sonny Barger's got 10 years. When he goes to prison, Sonny's got 10 years in. When he comes back, he's almost got 20 years in. You know, he you know, from 57, it's now 77, 20 years.
No, I understand. So what I'm saying, but the technical part, y'all on the
We're
same
the
level.
same.
But
I have one vote. He has one vote.
Got it. But
Yeah.
according to the Hell Angel, he's the face.
And according to the public, according to all the other motorcycle people, and you know, I'm well aware with that. We're well aware of that, and I'm also content to be his wingman. You know, I'm not. I don't have a problem with that. I respected it.
You didn't have a problem playing your position.
No, I didn't have a problem playing second to Sonny. You know, I felt Sonny was in the lead position. Now, when Sonny got cancer and he stepped away out of the political arena, it put a whole different slant on it.
Okay, that's what I want to talk about. Yeah. See, I go in there, Sonny's poaching your guys. And this
Well, not just Sonny, Oakland. You know,
Oakland's poaching the guys. Anthony Tate, you know, he's trying to get you on the wire, but he gets Sonny. Sonny gets indicted.
Right.
Tony Tate.
So, Tony, it's Anthony though, right?
Yeah, Anthony. Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah, he gets indicted, and then now when he gets indicted, you don't get caught up in that because of what you said.
Because I don't buy his shit.
Yeah, got it. What happens next? He's indicted.
Sonny goes to prison.
You're out here.
I'm out here.
Who becomes in charge of his chapter?
Cisco Valderrama.
Cisco.
Yeah, the guy on 60 Minutes. And, you know, I told you he was mad at me.
Cisco's bad, yeah.
He was mad at me after he did that 60-minute interview because I had told him, I said, I don't think it's a good idea for you to do this interview. I go, this stuff's real tricky. And I said, I think I would sit it out. And you know what he told me? Fuck Mike Wallace. That's his exact words. And I go, okay, man.
Yeah, but Mike, I ain't gonna lie, Mike put the work in on y'all. Well, not you, but Mike put the work in on him.
Well,
Mike
he tried to get me, man.
Yeah, you did pretty good.
Yeah.
It looked like you wanted to laugh at your man.
Well, I was like, Cisco, come on, man. You know, and the comments people were making after the interview, that's what Cisco was mad at. He was mad at, you know, why didn't you pull the stage hook on him, George? And, man, you were great, George, but, man, you got to keep Cisco away from them cameras. I mean, people were saying shit. And
you did well. You did well.
Yeah, and they were clowning him, and he got mad. He took it out on me. You know?
He took it out on you by not speaking to you.
Yes. We were estranged for 6 months. But we made up.
But would you say now, because I know you're a guy with honor, but would you say now that when you went on Mike Wallace, with some bullshit y'all was spitting?
Well, yeah, we were spitting bullshit, and so were the feds, you know? I mean, look, what did he say?
Oh,
a billion hits?
Explain that. Yeah, y'all was getting money over there, man.
Where the hell? Oh, you want to get paid now? Where's that billion? But no, stop and think about it.
Got it.
You got street sense. I know you do, man. I can just tell by talking to you. That's what the cops do. They take it and they go, well,
they magnify
at
it.
a street level, we're into 1 billion hits here, you know, and that's bullshit, you know. And
what would you put? What would you estimate that
each one of those? Like, okay, they found 30 pounds at Kenny Owens' house. Okay, each pound is probably worth market price at that time was $10,000.
Okay.
They found 30 pounds at Kenny Owens' house. So what's 10 times 30?
300.
Okay.
Don't ask me no questions like that. Come on, man.
Okay, all right, man. Well, I just want to see if you're drinking, man.
No, 300,
Yeah, I see they're sipping on that. What's in it? So check it out, you know. They had money. He had money. He had 30 pounds of crank at $10,000 a
was
loan.
that,
You do your,
300,000?
yeah, or no, what is it, 3 million or
3 million, right? 300,000 or 3 million? 10,000.
10. You've got 10 pounds of 30 pounds of crank at $10,000. That's $3 million.
Just take all the zeros.
Or is it 30 million? Or is it
300,000?
Yeah, so that's 300,000 there. So you've got 10 pounds of pure meth. Goes for $10,000 a pound. That's $300,000. He had 3 million in his wall. He had 3 million in his wall. So he made some money, but they're getting these $1 billion. They're amplifying this stuff because that's what they do in the courtroom. I'll tell you a little trick. You know, these cops. Let's say you have a pound of crank at your house, or cocaine, or whatever it may be, and you've got 1.5 pounds of cut on it. So when you go to court, you get busted, you go to court. What do the cops say? They go, you got busted with a pound and a half of drugs. And the street value, so what does a smart defense lawyer say? Well, Your Honor, we tested it.
And it had cut.
And it was only 1/2 pound.
Yeah.
And so the dynamics of everything changes. Yeah. Now, whether the judge wants to take that into consideration, that's a lot of provocative stuff. Like there's a lot of ways to approach these things. They always amplify everything. We had a garage in Los Angeles. Remember I told you we went to war with the Mongols. Mm-hmm. We had a garage in Los Angeles, 2,000 pounds of dynamite. We had an anti-tank weapon in there, a British anti-tank weapon. We had machine guns. We had a lathe to make silencers. We had unregistered handguns. So one of the guys flips, tells the cops where we got all this stuff stashed, and he tells the guys, go over to the garage. He's working with the cops now. He tells the guys, go over to the garage and empty it. Take the dynamite and the guns, everything, move it to a new location. So they go, okay, where do we move it? Anywhere, just get it out of there. That place is too hot. So they drive over there. 2 guys sit in the car. One guy gets out and puts the key into the lock, turns the lock. As soon as the lock pops open, cops swarm the place. Okay. So they indict him, the guy that turned the key. They indict the 2 guys in the car for possession and constructive possession of this stuff. But there's a caveat here. The garage is empty. For the safety of the community, they moved all the dynamite. They moved all the guns. The garage there was nothing in the garage.
What?
So what happens in the courtroom? Our lawyer argues, well, Your Honor, what was their state of mind? Well, nobody knows what their state of mind was. My client opened an empty garage. He goes, there was nothing in there. There was no dynamite in there. There was no guns in there. So they had to make a deal. All that stuff they found in the garage, it just fell by the wayside because they made a mistake. They emptied it. And there was nothing in the garage. They entered an empty garage. So
the rumor was that some of you guys or the Hells Angels had some inside help. They had some crooked cops that was on your team.
Well, yeah, there are inferences of that. Proven, no cops were indicted. But, you work the streets, you live on the streets, you develop relationships, even with cops. Mm-hmm. Cops like you, you like them. I don't know. Maybe some money changes hands. I don't know.
How did the Hells Angels get involved with meth?
Well, I think that it probably came from the chemists up at Berkeley. Probably gave the formula to somebody. like, they think the Hells Angels are responsible. There's only 2 guys in Oakland that knew how to cook meth, and they got indicted. Kenny Owens and Chico. They went to prison. They were the meth cooks.
One for 40, one for 41 years.
Yeah, they were the meth cooks. Nobody else was cooking meth. And I'll tell you why. Because they were guarding the recipe. They didn't want to share in the profits with everybody. They wanted to control the meth market. And, they did control the meth market for several years. And, those guys are both my friends. And I hated to see them go down like that. But they control the meth market, and ultimately they paid the price for it. Because nobody else was cooking meth. They were the guys cooking meth.
But were you guys making profit off of the meth they cooked?
The people involved in, I guess you could describe it as a cartel, the people involved in the cartel. But the Hells Angels do not sell drugs as an organization. Individuals in the club sell drugs. And the record for years, has clearly spoken for itself. Look, I can't, as much as I like Chico and as much as I like Kenny Owens, both of them rest in peace. They're both dead now.
Oh, rest in peace to them.
I mean, they didn't do it on behest of the club. They did it to further themselves. They didn't find that $3 million at the Oakland clubhouse. They found it in Kenny Owens' wall.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, you may not agree with me, but you have to agree with the facts of where they found it. I think if Kenny had gone to prison, I think the best argument is if Kenny had gone to prison and that wasn't his money, where would the money be? Probably be at the Oakland clubhouse. So the club is not a criminal organization, but I will concede this: it's an organization full of criminals.
I heard that. I heard you say that.
Yeah, and that's the truth.
You Sonny's gone. Cisco was there. You and Cisco, become close?
Yeah. We were just fighting for a while, man.
Yeah. So how close? You
said that. We got close again.
Yeah.
We were estranged for a while, and he got over the 60-minute interview and
the embarrassment.
All this he was embarrassed.
Yeah.
Cisco's a proud guy, man.
You have a different vision for the Hells Angels.
I do have it. I did, and that's why ultimately I left. By 2011, I'm a smart enough guy to know by 2011, my vision of the Hells Angels is never going to happen. Being a peacemaker within that outlaw culture is not a popular position, Flip. It's not a popular position. People perceive you as weak. They think you're interfering in their image. What I mean. You know some street guys over the years, right?
But what I'm saying, but listen what I'm saying.
Okay.
You wanted to change different things while Sonny was incarcerated.
Well, I wanted to initiate the change. And I was hoping that people would go, man, this is a lot better riding across country without looking over my shoulder or wearing a bulletproof vest.
So your main goal was to squash the war.
Squash the wars.
Yeah.
And we don't have to be friends. I told people that. I go, we don't have to interact with these guys. We don't have to date their girlfriends or their sisters. Or all we need to do is not shoot at each other. All we need to do is not. If you were a brother and you went out and picked up a beef, man, I would think, it's futile, man. Flip's going to prison now for 10 years, and he's going to be gone. And we're not only going to miss him, he's going to just sit there and be stale, man. That's what it's like. It's like you like old bread when you come out of there, man. I've been to prison 3 times. They haven't been long terms, always a year or so, but it's not productive.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever been to the joint or not, but it's not productive.
I haven't.
Well, congratulations, because I used to hold that in high esteem. I was proud I never went to prison. I never got in trouble, and not because I was on a moral compass that was correct. It was because I figured I outsmarted them.
Yeah.
But I never went to prison for anything I did. I went to prison because people were trying to extract themselves from the legal predicaments they put themselves in. It's like in 2007, somebody firebombs the tattoo shops. Takes them like till 2011, but they finally indict me. They say I ordered the firebombings. I never ordered any firebombings of tattoo shops, and the feds knew it. But it's not always about justice with the cops. It's sometimes they're career seekers. They're people that want to create a name for themselves. It's just like Mueller was smart enough to know he failed us twice. He backed away from that RICO, but he can't back away from the limelight. Now, whether you like Trump or you hate Trump, I don't think Trump is doing anything any other politician hasn't done over the years. Yeah, and I'm not a Trump guy, but I'm not a Biden guy either. I don't look to politicians for guidance. I'm a man of my own compass. I know what I want to do in life, where I want to go. I don't need anybody to help determine the direction I'm going. But I mean, now we're getting into like these philosophical metaphors.
But before we get
you
to
want
that,
more juicy stuff?
no, not even that. No.
With you.
I think that I just want to make sure, like, so.
What do you want to make sure?
No, because I want to close out the Sonny chapter. You and Sonny, when Sonny came home and he saw the direction,
he saw that he wasn't getting what he wanted. He had lost ground. And so what does he do? Oakland was shooting him down. Hey, I want to write a book. No. I want to do a movie. No.
Who was telling him no?
Oakland. They were telling him no.
You talking about the people?
Yeah, the members. Cisco had a firm hold on Oakland. And there were things, I think, these are unsaid things. These are things that I speculate on as a leader and why things transpired. If Sonny's not getting what he wants, what does he do? What's the smart thing to do?
He leaves.
He leaves. He goes to Arizona and starts over. What do I think about that? I think that's the ballsiest move somebody at 70 could do. Packs everything up, goes to Arizona, targets the Dirty Dozen, who have held that state and ruled that state with an iron hand for years, and becomes the leader over there, basically. But listen,
of the Dirty Dozen, he didn't change their name.
He changed them to Hell's Angels. They became Hell's Angels. But this is, and I'm not faulting him for this. This is just the facts. The Dirty Dozen were exploring the thought of becoming Hell's Angels before Sonny came home from prison. When Sonny came home from prison, he saw what was going on. He saw that these guys had intentions and wanted to be Hell's Angels. He also saw and was astute enough up in Oakland to know he wasn't going to get what he wanted anymore. He's the guy that told everybody, you should be following Tony Tate. And that left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And so what did he do?
He leaves.
He says, hey, these guys want to be Hell's Angels? I'll make them Hell's Angels. I'm Sonny Barger. And that's what he did. And he ran that state very tight, and he even sent a message. Do I know for a fact he ordered the killing of one of my members? I don't know that, but Josh Harbor went to Arizona, went to Cave Creek, Sonny's town. Somebody shot him in the neck, and he died. And of course, law enforcement said that it was a message for me. George, you're getting too big for your britches, and you need to back down. Do I know that for a fact? No, I don't. It's pure speculation. 6 months later, somebody shoots Sonny's right-hand man, Hoover. And word on the street and speculation from the cops that I'm sending a message back to him. And I'm not condoning what happened. I'm not admitting any participation in anything. These are the rumors on the street. But I know one of my guys got killed, one of Sonny's guys got killed, and the word on the street, there was a civil war brewing in the Hells Angels. And you said you wanted everything straight. I'm giving it to you straight. And we listened to that thing earlier.
Yeah, why didn't he go after Cisco?
Excuse me?
Why didn't Sonny go after Cisco? Why would he?
Because Cisco was still Cisco would still acquiesce to Sonny. George Christie would not. Cisco never spoke openly about anything Sonny did. Anytime Sonny made a mistake, I held the position that I had to confront him because it wasn't good for the whole of the club. Yeah.
Understood.
And I confronted him, and it cost me dearly. And that was, by the time
What do you
this
mean
starts.
What do you mean it cost you dearly?
Well, I mean, I became so frustrated, and I devoted 40 years of my life to that lifestyle, and then I had to come to terms. Nothing's going to change. These guys are going to continue to kill each other. These guys are going to continue to go to prison. And these guys are going to continue to bury brothers for no reason because they just won't. They just won't give in. They've got this image of themselves that, we're the baddest of the bad, and, we're not going to kind of
Do you
interact.
feel like you could have changed that, though?
I was trying to change
But
it.
do you feel like you could? Do you feel like
If I would have stayed?
Yeah, do you feel like that if Sonny would have said, you know what, George, I agree. You think that the other
I would have
guys would have
stayed.
listened? The other guys would have listened. We're talking about the guys that.
Yeah, I think if I had an endorsement from Sonny Barger, of course everybody's going to listen, But, I didn't get it. When I left the club, the night I went into the meeting, I said, look, I've reached a point in time when I don't think I'm being productive anymore. And at first, everybody misunderstood me. They thought I was stepping down as president. And I said, no, I'm leaving. I'm done. I can't do anything more here. I took off my patch, and I folded it up like a flag, set it on the end of the coffee table by where I sat, and I said, we have become the people we rebelled against. And that's not what I signed up for. I don't want to be like that. I go, we're supposed to be a live and let live society. I go, why are we killing people that think the same way we think? Why are we killing people that their enjoyment is riding motorcycles? We're fighting them over a piece of territory. It wasn't productive to me anymore. And I just felt if I would have stayed, it would have been strictly because my ego flipped, because I didn't want to face everybody and go, and I you know what it's like to have a show online. You know what it's like to be online.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you have your shit talkers. Mm-hmm. People write you, and yeah, and I have the same thing. You're a quitter. You'll never be a Sonny Barger. Well, the fact of the matter is, I never wanted to be a Sonny Barger. I wanted to be George Christie.
Do you
I had my own vision?
Do you think Sonny Barger wanted you dead?
Yeah, but I think he didn't. I think it would have been convenient for him if I was dead, but I don't think he was going to go through. I don't think he wanted to go through the steps of attempting that and failing, because if he would have failed, I mean, what do you do? If you know somebody's trying to kill you, I mean, what do? You got to react, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But do you think that it's usually the mild-mannered one, right? So would you say that people would know that even if somebody tries a George Christie, that there would be some repercussions?
Well, I think that, yeah, and I think that
because a lot of people, when I hear stories about some gang members and stuff like that, usually, or organizations, usually, some people are not built enough to go to war. Some people are not built.
Well, they're not built that way.
Yeah,
you're right.
So do you think that people knew that you were built that way, even though you wanted to?
Yeah, I think people knew what my history was through the years, and
so you did have history.
Yeah, of course I did, but I'm not going to talk about it. Man, you're trying to. But you browbeating me now, man.
What? Is the story true that before Sonny died, someone called your phone to get you to speak to Sonny?
The night before Sonny died.
Did you know who called your phone?
Yeah, I'm not going to identify him because anybody that was in the Hells Angels, Sonny mandated a rule. Anybody gets caught talking to George Christie, their patch is up for punishment and perhaps expulsion from the club. So talking to me get somebody kicked out. And I'm going to tell you this, and I'll look right into the camera. There's Hell's Angels that write me now, and I don't identify them, and I won't identify them. I have Hell's Angels write me and go, well, don't tell anybody. I don't want anybody to know we're talking, but what do you think about this? And, I comment on it, and I don't tell them, well, you're not the only Hell's Angel that's talking to me. I mean, I keep that stuff in confidence. But, yeah, I knew who called me that night, Flip, and I recognized his voice as soon as he called me, and he told me, Sonny's not going to make it much longer. He didn't say he was going to die in the morning, and that's what transpired. And that's what motivated me to write my new book, Crossing the Rubicon. I lay everything out in there. It's a anthropological journey of being a leader in the Hells Angels. That's what it's about. It's a study of leadership in an outlaw society, and took me 3 years to write it. I was very methodical about it, and I break it down. I see the book in 3 parts. There's the beginning, the middle, and then there's a resolution to what I want to do. I'm not going to give away what it says in the book, but in the end, I break everything down and I make a decision what I'm going to do. And
why you didn't call him?
It's in the book, but I'll tell you off camera.
Smart, right? smart.
It's in the book, man. But it's very profound.
Well, can you answer this? Is it in the book if you regretted not calling him? Is that in the book as well?
No.
Do you regret not calling him?
Do I regret not calling him? I have mixed emotions about it. You've asked me how do I feel about Sonny. There were periods of time, man. I love that guy. There were periods of time I was so fucking mad at him. I wanted to spit. One of the last conversations I had with Sonny, it was over something he did, and we argued for 2 hours in the back room of the Oakland Clubhouse, and finally, I said, oh, you know what, man? I go, you're not going to agree with me. I said, but I want to tell you something, Sonny. I'm not going to agree with you either. And I dug in, and I said, so we're just going to call this a draw. And then I said, do you think you're giving in to me? I go, you're not giving in to me. You're following the rules. You're not giving in to anything. You broke a rule, man, and it's right here in black and white. And I said, you think somehow I want to belittle you? And I said, but I want to tell you something, man. I go, do you remember when we stood the cops off up at the Shasta Lake? It was you in the front, me on your right shoulder, and Irish on your left shoulder. And behind us, it was like we were like a spearhead. And behind us were 200 Hells Angels. And the cops tried to chase somebody into the camp. They were on their motorcycle. That used to be the thing. People would outrun the cops, But cops are allowed to pursue you into an area. It's just like if you're running away from the cops and you run into your house, they don't need to get a search warrant. They can follow you into the house because they're in pursuit. So they said they're coming into camp. And, this is before Sonny's cancer and all that stuff. Sonny walked out there and he goes, you ain't fucking coming in here. He goes, get the fuck out of here. And I said, you remember that, Sonny? And he goes, yeah, I remember that. I said, that's the Sonny Barger I will always remember. And I walked away. That was the last time I talked to him, I think. Or one of the last times. I might have had one more phone call with him.
Have you shared with the people what he did?
Yeah, everybody knew. It's all in the book, man. Everybody knew what he did. And I have verification of what he did. I mean, his third wife was a paid FBI informant, man. She was getting $1,000 a week from the FBI. He made some, Tony Tate, his wife, a paid FBI informant. His next wife, his fourth wife and final wife, gave information to the police about me.
Wait, hold on.
We'd have to have a part 2, man. So I'm trying to get another trip back here to New York.
You think Tony was not Tony? You think Sonny was?
I don't think Sonny was an informant. I just think he was at times his judgment was poor.
I don't know, man. Ooh, this is a deep one.
Oh, you're going deep, huh? You know what, man? You know what happens when you get in them rabbit holes?
Yeah. So, do you think that he knew you don't think he knew his
No,
wife?
he did not know. I don't believe he knew. If he did,
That'll make him.
that's even worse.
How did we find out that his third wife was a rat? Was a
I have at the end of the book.
Oh, it's a book. Got it. Okay.
I'm getting the book. I'm selling the book, man.
What's the name of the book?
At the end of the book, I have inserted a newspaper article from a reporter from Phoenix that went to the courthouse when she was identified as an informant. So it's not George Christie saying this. This is a magazine out of Phoenix. It's Phoenix Magazine. And the woman that wrote the stories, she's an award-winning journalist. You know, and everything's on the up and up.
I have a couple more questions before we go.
All right.
We were talking with Nicole assistant about John Cleveland, right? John Webb or
John Webb was a Hell's Angel from Alaska, formerly had been friends with the outlaws from Kentucky, and so John Webb ran into people that were formerly his friends. They got in an argument. The guy said, "You owe me some money. I want the money." And he said, "I'm not going to pay you." And the guy pulled a gun out and shot John Webb. And that's the Hell's Angel that got killed. That's the Hell's Angel that Tony Tate was using as a vehicle to, you know.
So what story was out there that he got stabbed and
What do you mean?
we were hearing that he was like, that wasn't true. He didn't die like that. They were saying that someone stabbed him 5 times in his back.
Oh, no, that's Irish you're thinking about.
That was Irish.
Irish O'Farrell, yeah.
So Irish didn't die.
No, Irish got stabbed, and then he got shot. But it wasn't about a drug deal. We don't know what it was about. That's bullshit. It was not about a drug deal. They were in there partying all night long in the bar, and they got in a little, like, you know how people play hard and they start talking shit, and then somebody gets their feelings hurt. And
So do you think it was an Aryan Brotherhood?
well, I know it was Aryan Brotherhood.
So Aryan Brotherhood did kill him.
They did kill him. Yeah.
But it wasn't over a drug deal.
No, it wasn't over a drug deal. I don't know what it was over. I speculate a lot on a lot of stuff, a lot of different theories. I've got 2 theories in my head. Irish, the guy that stabbed Irish said, "Let's go out on the patio. We'll snort some drugs and everything's good." They walked out to the patio. The guy stabbed Irish in the neck 3 or 4 times. And then Irish said to him, "What are you going to do now, motherfucker?" And he pulled his gun out and shot him. Shot Irish 4 times and killed him. He died. He did die in the parking lot. The Aryan Brotherhood said they would take care of their own problem, because we had set up a meeting with the Aryan Brotherhood to find, why did you guys kill one of our guys? We're going to wind up going to war with you guys. And Sonny squashed it all. Perhaps conveniently, because he left for prison about a week later. I'm sure he didn't want to walk into prison with the Hells Angels and the Aryan Brotherhood.
How did the Aryan Brotherhood take care of it?
They didn't.
They didn't?
No. These guys, they were supposed to be handled, and it didn't get handled. Both those guys wound up getting killed, but many years later. But it had nothing to do with Irish. It's a very convoluted story, man. And it's hard to sit down here and absorb everything.
It is.
It is.
We need a part 2.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, man. You can look at all my different podcasts and stuff. It's a trip. I feel like you and I connected, man. Like, how sometimes in life you connect with somebody.
It.
Yeah, I feel like you're for real. You don't pull back if you smelling a little bullshit.
Yeah, you got a lot of tricks up your sleeve.
You're gonna call me on it, man.
I saw an interview about a guy from a guy. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Right.
With Charles Pee Wee Goldsmith.
Sure, I know Pee Wee. I know him well.
Who is he?
He was a president of Las Vegas. Got on the bad side of some people in the club. Got pushed out of the club. He left before I did. He's a good guy. He's an interesting guy. I think he's like 6'6". He's a huge dude, man. So we call him Pee Wee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What did you want to know about him?
I mean, so he's one of the real deals.
Yeah, he's a real deal. Yeah.
Because you have a shout out to him. You have an issue with. You don't have an issue, but you respect, like a lot of people in the street do, or that come from organized. I don't want to say crime, but organized.
You're gonna be gentle on me.
Gatherings or groups. You guys look down on rats, snitches.
Correct. Right.
Confidential informants.
Correct.
You still hold that to this day? That look,
well, it's
that view.
Yes and no. It's like I'm not in the game, out of the game, and when I want to get involved with somebody that I think potentially would want to extract himself from a problem, I don't want to be around him because I was a big get out of jail free card for several people over the years. But I think, most people that wind up informing, they're not doing it because they think it's on a morality level, it's the right thing to do. They're doing it because they want to get out of a dilemma they got themselves into. So, that's why I never bite into. We talked about Butch earlier. When Butch made a deal with the feds, I don't even think he was getting indicted, and I don't remember Butch going to prison. You said that. You said you thought he did 8 years.
Yeah, because his daughter said he did 8 years.
About that, man. I don't know.
Because when Butch, they covered his face, and Butch went into
he was behind the screen. Yeah. He's the one that revealed the fact. This is an interesting story. You got time for a real quick one?
Yeah,
okay, so in 1969, the Rolling Stones wanted to do a free concert in the Bay Area. So they call the Grateful Dead, who the Hells Angels have a very close relationship at the time.
I know the Grateful Dead wear their T-shirts.
Yeah, so the Dead say, wow, we always have the Hells Angels hang out with us. They kind of keep everything in order. So the Hells Angels are approached by the Rolling Stones manager. I think it was Sam Cutler or somebody. Says, hey, you guys want to do this? Well, we never agreed to be security, but we said, yeah, we'll come hang out like we always do. Meredith Hunter, you know who Meredith Hunter is. He's a young black guy that was pointing a gun at Mick Jagger, and Alan Pizarro stabbed him, and he died. The Rolling Stones told us, if anybody picks up a beef protecting us, we will pay the legal fees. So it came time to pay the fees. The Rolling Stones, I think, governed by Mick Jagger, didn't want to brush up against us. They said, hey, look, the Hells Angels murdered this guy. Look, I'm sorry Meredith got murdered, but you don't point a gun at the stage when you're around a bunch of Hells Angels. It's just not productive. So Hunter was murdered. Alan Pizarro was indicted. Do you know the story there? Alan Pizarro was acquitted. It was justifiable homicide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how the court ruled. So we went to the Stones and said, okay, guys, you owe us $50,000. That's what it cost us to get Alan out of this predicament. Mick Jagger basically said, I'm not going to pay you. And this went on for 10 years. And by now, I was in the club and a prominent figure in the politics. And when Butch revealed that, we probably within a couple of weeks, we had a check for $50,000 from the Rolling Stones. And we got paid. And the ironic thing is, Oakland and New York wanted to keep the money. They didn't want to share it with everybody. So it turned into another big, you know how it just to me, it was just like bad fucking karma on the whole monies thing.
But
you know?
somebody tried to kill the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, they went over in a boat and the boat sunk. It was real choppy, rough seas. They had plastic explosives and they were going to blow up the yacht. Were they going to target Jagger? I wasn't in the boat. I don't know what was said. I don't know what so I'm going there again, man. I'm going there, and you're going down the rabbit hole, right?
I'll let it go. Last question for me before we go.
Okay. It's gonna be easy.
No, this is gonna be the hard one.
Oh man. Like the thing I ate, huh?
No, you don't hate that.
No, I said like the thing I ate.
Yeah. I saw a video where you talked about your transgender child.
Right.
And we started to talk about it in the car. And you said, flip is hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
to do.
It's, when you raise a child and you have a perception of who that child is, and then they tell you, no, that's not who I was. This is who I am. It's difficult. It's difficult for the child. It's difficult for the parents too. And, it's like I had to go through this whole learning process, and I had to go through this whole learning process that I'm an old white guy, man. I misgender people. You know what I mean? I was misgendering friends.
Well, you're Greek, but
yeah, well, okay, man. Yeah. You gonna give me that? Okay, bro.
You were misgendering, yeah.
So, it's I had to go through a period of time when I had to make an adjustment, and I'm going to tell you this. John Bernthal, asked me that question on the show, and I basically told him the same thing I'm telling you. And I got hate mail from people. They wrote me and talked shit about my child.
What was the hate mail about? So it's difficult? Was it difficult for you to accept?
Well, and some people may go, oh, that's a fucking cop out, I'm talking about the transgender population.
Understood.
When you love somebody and grow up with somebody as a daughter and you raise them as a daughter, and then they tell you, it was like saying, I was like losing another kid.
Because
I'd lost my son,
George.
You lost
George. Yeah, you lost George the third. He passed away.
Yeah, and so it's like losing another child, and it's like you have to adjust. Okay, and
well, how many children do you have in total?
4. I had 4. I have 3 now.
You have 3 now.
Yeah,
so George the third passed away in his sleep.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was hard on you.
Very hard on me. Can you imagine? Can you imagine losing a son?
Can't imagine that.
It's just it's a club no parent should belong to. And there's parents out there, then parents write me, and they go, and that's usually what I write them. I'm sorry you belong to this club that no parent should have to.
When did your well, I don't want to misidentify. When did your child come to you? How old were they when they came to you and say that? I don't want to be rude. That's what I'm saying.
They, them.
Them?
Yeah, to be like nice, not nice, but like to be respectful. You say they, them.
Yeah. How old were they when they came to you and said,
Well, I was in prison. I was going through this transition.
The last prison stint.
Last prison stint, yeah. And I came home. Had to deal with them getting attacked. Somebody, they came out. This is when transgender people were, I guess, kind of coming out and saying this is my sexuality. This is. Look, I'm being very careful because I don't want to be I don't want to get a bunch of hate mail because I'm not trying to offend anybody. But they got attacked from behind. Somebody broke a bottle over his head. Yeah. I mean, just for the mere fact that they were overtly appeared as a man. That, you know, they must have known the history. I don't know. They couldn't. You're gonna love this. I come back from prison, and I go to the cops that are investigating the case. You never guess what the cops did. Cops went to the assailants. They knew who the assailants were. They went to the assailants and said, "Guess who's back in town?" Their dad. And guess who their dad is? And they packed up and left. You know, I don't know where they went, but certainly the cops weren't going to tell me. But you know, you talk about how convoluted things get.
Yeah.
You know, here are some cops that I don't know if they had an axe to grind with these people or if they wanted to fuck with their heads.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, basically the cops intimidated these people by threatening them with me and my reputation. So, you know, it's look. I don't want to avoid the question, and I don't know if I answered it satisfactorily.
You did. No.
But it's a painful situation.
I do understand.
Yeah,
I do understand.
And you know, I probably shouldn't say this because someone's gonna fucking fuck with me. But you know, my son, to lighten things up in the family, you know, I showed you some of the stuff he does. You know, he's a real smart guy. So he said he was going to. He had now identified as a Apache attack helicopter.
It's not funny.
So.
It's not funny. Can't say that.
I know, but I'm just telling you, man. You gonna cut it out or what?
Yeah, I'll cut it out. Are you crazy?
That's what he said. He goes, well, he saw that the family was in. Man. He saw the family was in conflict.
He's still going.
Yeah, well, you know.
I
don't know when to stop.
Have you adjusted and do you call them by the name that they want to be called, or do you guys talk, or you don't talk?
We're not talking right now, but it has nothing to do with that. It's
okay,
my estranged ex-wife and I, or she won't talk to my son. I'm just laying it all out here, man. You're good, man.
Now, when you say your son, are you talking about?
Well, Georgie. I'm saying now. I'm talking about Finn. My ex-wife is mad at Finn because he rides a motorcycle now.
Oh.
And
so
the family's like split.
Okay, so Finn is the last child.
Yeah, Finn's on, like Finn and I are teamed up, and my ex and my son, my former daughter, my son is now that may be a misgender too.
No, I don't think, but you identify them as your son now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's how they want to be perceived, you know.
So, but you had two naturally, not naturally. Okay.
See, now you're fucking up.
I gotta be careful. Yeah. You had two boys and two girls.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
One of your daughter.
Yes.
Is an attorney.
My oldest daughter is my attorney.
Your attorney, yes.
She's one hell of an attorney.
She handles everything.
She handles the shit up, man.
Shout out to, can we say her name?
Yeah, Mariah Christie. She.
Shout out to Mariah Christie.
She got me out of that last beef. My last beef, I was looking at 3 mandatory minimums of life. She just chopped the shit out of that case, and you know, I got. They offered me a deal, and you know, I went away to Texas for a year.
And so your son, you and Finn and your son, and because George III is
George is God, yeah, he's gone, man.
Yes, so it's your son and the mom,
right?
You and Finn, and the mom is mad at Finn because he wants to ride a bike.
Well, he's on a bike. He's got a bike, man.
Harley?
He's been riding a bike. No, he's riding a BMW, which is kind of cool. I told him, man, do your own thing, man. You know.
Yeah.
And but
how long you haven't talked?
A year.
George, oh come on. I said, Lord, George. Come on, George, man.
You write me a note, man.
George, come on.
Come on, write me a note.
I will, George. Come on, George. George, you know time is going, man. What you doing? Okay, I understand.
You understand?
I do. I get it.
And it's like I said last time I talked about my transgender child. I got some really nasty. A lot of people offended by that.
Because you were emotional?
No, they're offended by anybody that identifies out of their
Oh wait, people were on the other side. But people, wait, hold on, wait.
People
So
were writing me
mad at you
mad
for
at me.
accepting it?
Yes. Is that wild?
Yeah, not in today's climate.
Talk about some haters, man.
In today's climate,
Yeah, I actually I very seldom block people, but I finally had to block somebody because they kept talking shit.
man, you don't want to see that. It's your child's thing.
Yeah, you know, it's like, hey man, you got a problem with me? I'm in Ventura. I'm easy to find, man. I walk every day, 4 or 5 miles, so you can't miss me, man. I'm the guy with the cane and the dog.
Well, listen, I think
We had enough. This is it. You cry. You say it, Uncle.
It got real. It got real deep. It got real deep.
It gets real deep. That's an emotional subject, man. You know it. I know you're a father, man. I know you
3
know it's
children,
yeah. I know it's an emotional subject. I've seen you on video interact with your son. Now I've seen you in person interact with. I know you got a lot of love there, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I know. I can see it. I can feel it.
Thank you.
And so I guess we're getting way off into
But
it.
no, we're not. The problem I have though is that you struggled with accepting it at one point, and
Right.
people are giving you a hard time. But I don't understand that. That's such a backwards thing.
It is a backwards thing, and I mean, I don't even know what to say to those people.
I don't understand why are they mad at you? Like you had an issue with accepting it, but you love your child, so it's like, I understand.
Yeah, these are people that don't like the transgender population.
Understood. But
Yeah, because I accepted it, I'm somehow enabling. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, and so they're writing derogatory stuff to me, which I've tried to get in an intelligent dialogue with them, which that's impossible.
But you were in the car. You were telling me, and I wanted to ask you this question. The last question, then we're done.
Second to the last question.
You said that you married someone.
Right.
It's your current wife, right?
Excuse me?
Your current wife. You said that your current wife.
Right. I've known my current wife since I was 12.
12, yeah.
Yeah, we were both grew up together. We were 12.
Mm-hmm.
She married one of my good friends.
Oh, there you go.
And she was married to him for 57 years, and he died of cancer. And somehow we wound up together.
So that's like an old school tradition, because when we talk about it on the podcast, they said that a lot of people would marry their friends' wives because their friend would. How can I put it? A lot of people traditionally.
I understand. You're not saying it, but I understand where you're going with it.
Their friend would. Their friend. I don't know how to analyze it, but you understand what I'm saying.
I do understand.
People would marry their friends' wives because I guess the friend would trust. Who can you trust more?
Who else?
Who could protect you?
And
your best friend, your brother.
And also, I got to tell you, it's a two-way street. Her and I go back a long ways. And, she knows everything about me. She was a witness in my trial in 1986, and she was punished for being a witness. They froze her bank account, put her store under investigation, her and her husband, and she still testified for me. And when she called me to tell me her husband, my good friend, had died, I probably didn't talk to her again for 6 months. And just by coincidence, just she was single, I was single. She was considering coming to Europe, and she asked me where are some places she should go. And I don't know why I was compelled to say it. I go, you should probably come to my place. And it just kind of started from there. Here's a woman that I said, hey, look, I go, this is the last quarter of our lives, man. I go, let's go out in the blaze of glory, man. So I was living in Spain. I came back here, and we didn't say a word to anybody. We got to know each other on a more intimate level. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know what? Let's elope to Las Vegas. We went to Las Vegas and eloped. Didn't tell nobody. Come back. Hey, everybody, we're married.
Was anybody mad?
No, everybody
was supportive.
Yeah, it was really amazing. Yeah, it was really a good feeling. Yeah. So now we're ending this on a good note.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna do a part 2.
We are. I hope so, man.
Yeah.
Come back to New York.
I want to read the book.
Okay, yeah, I want you to read the book,
Yes,
and then
the book.
I'll yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to Cali.
You want? Hey, come to Cali, man. I got a nice little studio in my outside.
Can you take us on a walk with you in the morning?
Oh, can you keep up?
No, but I'll try my best.
I know you will, and you know what? I'll act like my leg hurts that day. I dig you, man.
George
I really dig
Jr.
you, man.
Make sure you subscribe, like, comment. What is your YouTube, George?
It's George Christie. I don't know what it is. George Christie, man. You can find it. Go to my Instagram or my Facebook, and it'll take you there. Or go to my website, georgechristie.com, and you hit the button. It'll take you right to YouTube. If you don't want commercials, you can go to Patreon.
Shout out to Patreon. This is Queenzflip. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow. And shout out to George Christie Jr. Hell's Angels was a hell of a story. And, let's see if we could do part 2.
In Cali.
In Cali. Queens.